Good afternoon. Welcome to Options Tenor. Just want to do a quick maintenance from the previous last videos. And it appears that SPY and QQQ are in some sort of flag formation. So I want to give just I talked about it briefly in the last couple videos, but I want to just give an update on what happens if SPY goes directly to all-time highs. And we have NVIDIA coming up tomorrow night, and that could feel the same thing. And I just kind of want to show that scenario real quick here. So I'm going to zip through the higher time frames and go to the 65 and QQQ, VIX, IWM. All right, let's do it. We're doing this intraday about 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a supporter, 99 cents. If not, they come out to the public at about 4 p.m. Let's jump into it. We have SPY on the monthly time frame. We have a top here at 2000, 2021, and we're working a top right now. This potentially, with this type of price action, just really grinding, could potentially be a you can call that a hangman candle and also a tweezer top here formation. And so at that point, price could just reject directly off here and start heading down in a downtrend. And then I'll show you what the other scenario looks like. Going to the weekly, see the same thing there in the traditional technical analysis. Same thing. Working around this trend top. Told you I'm just going to zip through these, and we're right back at the final target here. This is my primary scenario, not necessarily at these targets, but this potentially is what it would look like. It would be a 5-wave move down. We're getting into a time reference here at 9:1, so we'll see where price is. It appears it'll be grinding. And maybe if the scenario that I'm going to talk about today, where we just make a new all-time high, maybe that will be by the 1st. And it's the week of, by the way. It's not the 1st in particular. Let's go to the daily. And traditional technical analysis, this is what this is one of the scenarios I was looking for. But no matter what we talk about on all of these scenarios, we're simply back testing a trend line right now. Okay. Yes, the trend line can be adjusted just a little bit higher. And yes, price can keep grinding. Let's go closer in. Just rejecting off over and over and over. And if this goes back to test the trend line one more time, we're probably going to eke out a new all-time high. And then that's another objective short. So the swings that I already am putting on as price goes up, I will be adding on to those puts. Okay, I think that price is going to reject, and this is actually a bit more bearish if price gets to the all-time highs sooner than later. Does it mean that there's no bull scenario? No. But this does mean that this is probably a wave 4. And if we make a new all-time high, that this is a wave 5 to complete the sequence. Do I think Qs are going to make a new high? No, I still don't think that. And then after, if that happens, we will update and talk about what the bullish scenario would be. So this being a 5-wave move up to complete a 5 would be, and I know that some people would say this is a B, expanded B. It doesn't really matter. Either situation, you'd be looking for a higher low to continue this run to the upside. I don't think that's the case, but anything's possible. All right, looking at the new page here. Just going to shrink that a little bit. So if this is a wave 4 and we're completing with wave 5 here, we get above this last high. Because this looks like a flag formation, we're holding this 887 here. Now that we got above it, seems to be holding there. We're in a time and price zone, so it looks like this is an actual low at this point, while price continues to go higher. So if we break the lows of today, which is the 8 EMA as well, then we can look to start being a lot more bearish at that point. But it looks like the grind is continuing, and we'll see. NVIDIA is going to be a huge catalyst, and GDP is going to be a catalyst. So anything can happen. NVIDIA could simply gap up and continue to go up while GDP comes out in the morning and the market gets really bearish, and then you have a huge gap and crap on NVIDIA, things like that. All sorts of scenarios can happen. But if we get this new high here, potentially our target would be up to the 577. But at this point, we'll have to see how the market reacts to the catalyst coming up on NVIDIA Wednesday after the bell and GDP before the bell on Thursday. And potentially the price action should take us to about 577 to 580. But with this divergence that will be created on this move, not only do we have lower time frame divergence that would continue to rack up these negative divergences, we'd have a new weekly and daily negative divergence. So all of that in play, we'll be looking for reversal and probably some sort of fake break at that point. Okay, I just don't know how high will it get. Will it get all the way up to the target here and then go down? Or and this is just a scenario. It doesn't have to play that way. This could end up breaking down with any one of the catalysts and continue this move. So, but right now, as of the 65, we'll go there. I posted on YouTube to the public a little bit earlier that this was looking to be flagging, especially on QQQ. So I wanted to, if you're following some of my trades, you have to do your own due diligence. But if you're following some of my trades, you have to be aware that I hedge all the time whenever there's uncertainty, especially when you have a flag type formation, in this case, a triangle. I'm hedging for the possibility that this breaks out, but it doesn't change the fact that we're back testing a trend line and we're looking for a reversal. All right, so the next time in price, could it be this 9.3? Is price going to go up into this time relationship? We were thinking that it would go down into this time relationship because of the back test and rejection off of it. But if price keeps grinding to the upside, then maybe we get to some of the time and price, get a reversal, then we have to change our projections here to the downside, and maybe we had much more bearish into FOMC, and we look at for a bounce after FOMC. So this is what I was talking about, time and price. We always have to see where price is when that time hits. So this time hit here, but it wasn't, a significant drop or anything like that. So we have to think, oh my gosh, this is holding. Let's protect our positions. So near-term dated calls will protect your much later swings in the event that this starts to break up to the upside. Okay. So we'll be looking for this gap close here, if this is truly a flag, and a continuation for SPY. And now what will this look like on the Qs? I don't need to go to the other page here. I just have to show the different scenarios. So the Qs, still, this is an impulse move, I believe. And so this looks somewhat like a falling wedge. And so we're going to act accordingly. Draw this as a setup. And if this starts to break out from this wedge, we're looking for a new high. That could go into the options expected move this week. That would go into this gap area and potentially fill the gap. And as price goes higher, makes all-time highs in SPY, we'd first look for the 786. You start getting over that 786, and price could grind up here to the 887, where it could just poke above, close the gap, and then we'd be looking for a reversal at that point. It's a very, very deep retracement, but we're forming a top in a really high time frame, and so this wouldn't be very uncommon. If if we're already in a downtrend, you won't see too many 887 retracements there. So we're keeping an eye on this. It's holding that former 62% retracement, which was resistance, and now made into support, and it's holding that support with a falling wedge into that support. So I mean, technically this is a bullish setup. And so we have to protect our swings that are out to the 13th, and we will be adding on to later dated swings to the downside if this is the case. Okay, that's virtually what I want to show you. So let's head over to the VIX real quick in IWM. So the VIX made a low, and if it wants to grind higher, and especially wants to make all-time highs, then, like I said the other day, this will probably end up forming, if you make a new low, some sort of channel or so. We'll draw it out, but we'll move our trend line there. And however this plays out, we might even go to close the gap. In an extreme case where it just grinds and grinds, price action can go all the way down to the extreme complacency again, and we'll be looking for longs on the VIX. All right, and this will become a valid trend line. If it breaks out from this trend line, that would be a breakout from the VIX. We'll look out for it in the future. We just need more information. IWM, and then we'll close this off. We did have a good trade on Tesla. I put that video out for members a few days or maybe a week ago, and so I made that to the public so you can see how we got that trade out. I'm out of Tesla already, and if we go higher, I'll be looking to get back into a Tesla put. Okay, so you see we had this impulse move here. I do believe this is the top, and with IWM, I mean, this doesn't have to be a top. Price can continue to go higher. In the scenario that we're looking at, where IWM takes charge and really starts to break out to new highs, and while tech is pushing to the downside, that could be a real pairs trade there, long IWM and short QQQs, if it wants to help the market grind to the upside. But the next play here would be 786 goes up to the 887. So that would be our next target up here. If this top is good, then we could see this price action. It looks like it's the formation here is ready to go up there. But not only that, if it does want to make new highs, you have plenty of structure here. This 1 2 1 2 1 2 setup that seems to be, building up there. And then we'll see with like GDP and stuff like that. Maybe this just rockets to the upside. That's the potential risk for IWM. I would not short this. I certainly, with lowering rates, IWM is liking this. And with lowering rates, I think I said shortening rates. I will not short IWM. And the only situation where I would short IWM is if we made it to let's pull up the correct screen, as if we made it to this scenario here, making up to the 235 area. All right, and that would I did this on Saturday's video, and that would play out as an A, this is a B as an expanded flat, and a much larger C to the downside. Okay, so that would play out perfect for this. I would certainly short it here at the 235, but nothing here. Not looking for any shorts here. I don't see an end to this move. That could be a good top, but that would be a better. Okay, thanks for joining us here at Options Tender. We will talk to you as soon as we have more information.